Good evening, everyone. Welcome to FGM Cast for your Wednesday night. We are back for the penultimate round of Season 1 of the Thunder Series, and you are with me, Stuart Brown, and I'm joined once again for a Wednesday evening with Carl Withy. How are you, Carl?
Good, thank you, Stuart, and welcome everybody. Yes, we are here at Autoclub Speedway, formerly Fontana, California. The beautiful Californian sun shining through as we go from day to night, just hitting the evening sun here. So that's going to be very bright in the driver's eyes down the back straight for those first few laps. But once it settles down a little bit, the track's going to get cooler. Everybody's going to enjoy it more, and those lights are going to come on. It's going to look absolutely spectacular.
Yes, indeed it is. It is already looking spectacular. Look at that in the sunset there. Hamish Gallagher just pulling off onto the infield, just pulled over to catch some rays in the number 13, dominating in a couple of series at the moment. Hamish is having some good runs, as is his partner in crime. We're just about to jump into... No, we've still got some practice left, so we've got some time to go. But Josh Mickelmore having a really strong run at the moment as well. Of course, a winner on Monday night in the Truck Series. In fact, my apologies, coming second in the Truck Series on Tuesday night, but a good run nonetheless. He's just so familiar up in the com box with us at the end of the race. We've got Hobbo back as well tonight. Andrew Dyson returns to the fray as well. So plenty of runners here. Luke Trahare's jumped in, Skirley, all the usual suspects in. And at the moment it is Gallagher, Mickelmore and Lachlan Urquio up the top three in practice. So those three drivers looking promising to potentially take out pole when we get qualifying underway in around about 5 minutes time. Carl, as usual, put you on the spot. Have you got some numbers there for us? What are we looking at championship wise?
Championship wise, we are looking at Hamish Gallagher still in the lead with 412 points. Ruben Phelps is next. He's 47 points off the lead. He needs a good night tonight. If he can have a good one and Hamish Gallagher can have a bad one, this could be a bit of a turnaround for Phelps. Josh Mickelmore sits in third position, 63 points down. Then we move to fourth. 91 points off the lead is Brenton Hobson. Now, Norman Clark is fifth with Kay Donnelly in sixth. Seventh is Maddie Raymond. Troy Davidson eighth. Ninth for Matt Hunter. Christopher Finlay in 10th. It is very tight between those pretty much from fourth down at the moment. There's not much separating those guys at all points wise. So it's all to play for those final positions in the championship. So it's going to be a big battle there. And of course, there is the drop round to come to sort of change things up a tiny little bit. But it's looking good, you've got to say, for Hamish Gallagher. He's been on a very strong form as of late. And yeah, it's going to be a tricky one to beat him. Great job from Hobson as well, getting up there in fourth position. He's done 2 less races over the season, but with 4 wins in the championship, a fantastic run from him. So, you know, just dropping down more so just with races not run rather than lack of great positions, because he's had a fantastic opening season.
Allow me to ask a question, Carl, of a naivete, dare I say. With the drop round, does it have to be declared before the final round of the season?
That I'm not sure of, so I do not know.
No worries.
I can pretend to know if you like, but yeah. I do not know. So I'll go with that.
We might try and find that out before next week, because there's obviously a lot that comes into play there with the drop round and how that might play out on where people need to finish next week to, you know, secure that win here in the first season of the Xfinity Series with ANZCAR. So we'll try and find that one out before next week, but certainly none of the drivers here are going to be jogging on the spot and waiting for that to come out before they try and take out the W next week in our final round of this season. So there's plenty to come here tonight. We're looking at a decent race here, I think, given the track as well.
Yeah, look, Auto Club is a fantastic place, Fontana, as it used to be known way back in the day. But it's a very fast track, very good for dual line racing as well. You can run 2 wide here without too much trouble. So I expect to see a couple of lanes forming up, people trying to run the sort of high and the mid lane. We should be in for some good fun times here, and it is a very fast track as well. These guys are going to be getting up to around about almost 300 kilometers per hour at the end of the start-finish straight. So, you know, it is very high speeds. And with those speeds, of course, you need very good reaction times, and it is very easy to make a little mistake here and there. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, we've got, I believe it's 75 laps here tonight. So looking at a race time of around about an hour, all things considered, depending on cautions and the like. And we're having a quick look at some top speeds there. The guys are getting over 300 clicks, so there's going to be some good drafting opportunities. I'm going to be keen to see how that fella goes. Obviously, Josh Mickelmore in the 31 Mitch Motorsport entry here tonight as well. Can it be another Mitch Motorsport domination? I imagine the likes of Dyson and Hobbo will have something to say about that. And of course, we never count out the Welsh fiddler, Michael Skurlock. So there's plenty of people here who can challenge at the front. The other thing as well, just touching back on the conversation about the last round. The last round is at Watkins Glen, so we are looking at a circuit to finish. And of course, we know Hobbo and Dyson in particular have been really strong in the circuit component of the series. So that'll play out here tonight as well in terms of Mickelmore and Gallagher and those challenges that you outlined, wanting to make sure they get as many points as possible here with that last round.
Yeah, that's it. They're going to want a strong finish because it being a true circuit track and one with left and right corners as well, it's going to make things very different for the final race of the season, and it's going to probably throw up a different winner as well, as often is the case. We might see a few wild cards turning up as well, it being the last race of the season. Checkered flag goes out for practice, so we'll be starting qualifying very, very shortly. Will Lachlan Urquhart be able to get the speed in his car for a qualifying lap, or will we see somebody else up there as well? It's going to be an interesting little session, but Lachlan Urquhart's been going pretty well recently, so hopefully we don't give him the curse of a commentator for this qualifying lap for him, like we did last night. Monday night, even.
Well, we are going to jump on board with Lachlan Urquhart. Let's get that tower off the screen so we can see what's going on. And Carl, I'll get you to, as usual, talk us through a lap around this track with plenty of history.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be coming off pit lane. You can see that sun already blinding us in the onboard view there from the gyro cam. Very, very bright indeed. It's a very, very glary thing. We're going to come into the first set of corners. So it's going to be probably second lap's going to be the fastest lap here. It takes a little bit of time to wind the car up a little bit, get it up to speed as Lockie's lost the rear end. Cursed him again. I'm so sorry, Lockie.
Better jump off there.
Strikes once more.
We went to jump on with Hobbo. He's done the same thing. So it looks like Mirko next in line. Now, we haven't actually covered Mirko in a qualifying lap. So let's jump on with the 62 entry of Mirko Dortnek as he gets on with his first flying lap.
Yes, hopefully we won't give Mirko the curse. So coming across the start-finish line here, it's a big D-shaped oval, similar to Michigan in layout. So coming into the first corner, relatively low banking here. It's not super high banking, but it is very high speed. The cars will lift off the accelerator a little bit, just drop off. Got to be careful about where you accelerate here. You want to get nice and close to the wall. Use the wall almost as a little bit of a buffer. The air against it will just keep the car nice and straight. Coming into the final set of corners, get the car pitched in nicely. Just get the car down a little bit low for this run, because this is going to be your fast qualifying lap now. So you want to try and get as much speed out here as possible. Little twitch for Mirko there, that's not going to help too much, but he should be able to get the car up to speed. We're going to get up to around about 298, 300 kilometers per hour down the straight here as we come into the first corner. Lifting off very slightly here into the corner. Mirko's keeping a relatively high line, which is generally what you want to do here. Get close to the wall, gets a bit too loose, so loses the rear end, and Mirko goes around as well. Few drivers struggling just on the exit of the corners tonight.
Well, let's jump on board with Steve Williams now. We'll stick to the outside here. It must be us unsettling the balance, just jumping into that passenger seat. So, Stevie Dub, of course, but no one wants to be on camera tonight. It's like they know what we're doing. Stevie Dub just pulling over there as well. Lachlan Urquhart's got top of the tree after we jumped on board with him. He's now put in a qualifying lap 41.64, so currently on pole position provisionally. We'll have a look at old Tay on the side of the 13 there with Hamish Gallagher, and we'll just follow him around for a lap. He is on, in fact, he's already completed his second flying lap. What's going on here tonight, Carl? There's some sort of conspiracy against us actually looking at somebody doing a fast flying lap. Hobbo to the rescue. The 54 will jump on board. He started his second flying lap here.
Yeah, so as we go around the corner back into the sun, and this is where it really catches you out a little bit because it's very hard to see when the sun's glaring in your eyes. You want to keep up to the wall. It's one of those tracks where you can actually run a little bit of a midline here as well. So it's not always necessary the high and low lines. Hobson's going to come into the corner here. This is going to be his first lap, I believe, or his first one that counts, because I've not got him on the screen at the moment. I don't know if he's had a little bit of contact somewhere. But he's going to come across the line. He's going to cut right low across the timing beam there to try and get the fastest lap possible. Gets him up to P9. So I think that was his second lap. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just having a little look at my timing. Josh Micklemore has managed to go fastest. Micklemore managed to get that second lap working for him. Has jumped up to P1 at the moment. Michael Skurlock in P2. So just looking out there for anybody else deciding to take a bit of a run. We have Gary Wellman and Luke Traher out there at the moment. Wellman, of course, has got some good pedigree on some of the faster tracks. We saw him take out the win at Talladega, I think it was, running really close to the wall there, and I think a little bit too close there. He makes slight contact, and that's going to ruin the qualifying lap for him, I think. It will get him the dreaded X come up, and that will invalidate the lap. We'll soon find out if it did, though, as he crosses the line, and yes, indeed, that validated the lap. So Luke Traher now, what can he do? We'll see how he goes with this one. Can he manage to get a clean lap out there tonight? Drivers seeming just to struggle off the edge of the corners, just losing a little bit of pace. So we'll see how this one goes. This should be the fast one for Luke now. He's going to try and get a good lap, but we are running out of time, so he's going to be down there in P20 by the looks of it.
Yeah, Luke Traher's leaving John a little bit too late there, so you're going to start out of P19. Ruben Phelps and Matty Ray not getting in a lap there. So let's bring the grid up on the screen and have a look at how they're going to form up for this penultimate round of the... I'm not sure what's come up with that there. Of the Xfinity Series.
So on the front... As Stuart tries to battle away with the good old technical aspects of the string. Up on the front row, we have Josh Micklemore, Michael Skurlock. Second row, Lachlan Urquio, Troy Davidson. Third row is Griffiths and West. Fourth, Donnelly Williams. Fifth, we have Gallagher and Hobson. Sixth row, Finley and Hunter. Seventh, we have Koch and Clark. Eighth is Dorschnack and Dyson. Ninth row, we have Tompkins and Wellman. Good qualifying from Tompkins there. 10th row, we have Traher and Phelps. And at the back will be Maddie Ray, Nigel Patton into that one as well, so we'll see how that one goes. Troy Davidson will be getting end of the line penalty, unfortunately, because of an incident in last race. So good qualifying result from him, and shown he's got some good speed, but he will have to drop to the back of the pack with that one. So at least he knows that he has got the speed, though. So that's one of the good things when that happens, is you know you've got the speed to run it up there with the top guys, but you've just got to make your way through the field.
Absolutely. So I'm just waiting for the drivers to get out on track at the moment. Currently sitting in pit lane. And there we go, just trying to pick that up there. So we're going to have a pretty rapid start here. A good result there for Michael Skurlock, seeing him up on the front row. It's been a couple of weeks for Skurly, so he'll be pleased with the outcome there. You can see those shadows come onto the track as the lights are blazing. And we're just going to get out behind pace car here. It is 75 laps tonight at Autoclub, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what we've got here. What's the tip for tonight, Carl? Who are you putting the kiss of death on?
Yes, as always, you're making it hard for me. I'm actually gonna go with Scotty Griffiths. He's had some really good speed as of late. We know he's got some pace. Good qualifying result up there in the top 5. I reckon we're going to see a good result from him tonight. So that's my pick for the night.
Yeah, we've got obviously we've got the usual suspects there. I'm going to go an outsider, and I must admit my form with him had actually been really, really good. He's qualified in P20 tonight. I'm going to have a look at Luke Traher for the long run win. If we get plenty of green racing, then you can look after the tyres, and it might just fall his way as an outsider. So I'm going to give Luke Traher the tip tonight.
Yeah, we've seen him run through the pack and do some great tyre saving in the past, so don't write him off down there. So it's going to be an interesting start here. We've got those Mitch Motorsports cars, a little bit separation for them. Josh Mickelmore up the front and his teammate a little bit further down, so they're going to have to try and link up with each other somewhere through the race. Look, Michael Skurlock on the outside, he's going to want to try and get a good start. Watch out for Lachlan Urquio as well. He's had a good run of form, just some bad luck in the past 3 races as well, so we'll see how he does in this one too.
Yeah, and Skirley as well. He's been driving a lot bit smarter. I feel over the last couple of weeks. He might take a bit of insult to that, but what I mean is just managing his race really well. So look out for him to put plenty of pressure on as Mickelmore drops the hammer as soon as he can and gets away to lead us away to the start of the race here. This is the penultimate round of the ANZCAR Thunder Series, and it's Josh Mickelmore who's got a good jump on Michael Skurlock, who's coming under pressure already from Lachlan Urquio behind him. So we see which line these drivers are going to take for this opening lap, as it looks like everyone starts to get through this race cleanly.
Oh, we've got a car going round at the back. I think it's Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps has gone into Luke Traher there, and we got the first caution out. Troy Davidson getting caught out in that one as well. Ruben just getting caught out. It looks like the car just got a little bit loose on him mid-corner, so just the back end stepping out on Ruben. No, sorry, I lied. There was somebody in front of him that was having a moment as well. So Ruben was avoiding action. Was Mirko. Mirko Dortnak lost the rear end going into the first corner, and he managed to straighten up a little bit, but Ruben just had to ease off. So it was a secondary accident there in the background. And Troy Davidson, unfortunately, that end of line penalty was much more of a penalty for him than normal, because he's clattered into the side of Phelps and written off the front of that car. That is devastating for Davidson, who had some good pace out there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mirko Dortnak involved in that early incident there. Just unfortunate, as you say, for Davison. That's why qualifying can be so important, and those end-of-line penalties are hard, but they need to be issued where they need to be issued. So we've got our first caution on the very first lap.
Yeah, unfortunately, just it's an easy mistake to make on cold tyres. All of a sudden, the car will just step out a little bit, and that's what happened to Mirko. And then Ruben Phelps trying to react to that incident, just trying to get out of the way and avoid it. He's just lost it as well. Tried to just put the brakes on. All of a sudden, he had a little bit of a lock-up, I think, and then it's all gone to pot, unfortunately. So devastating for those guys so early in the race. So seeing Luke Traher, Mirko Dortnak, and Ruben Phelps all into pit lane, unsurprisingly, just to get a few bits of repairs done. Those guys will be getting a few repairs done. Mirko, I don't think he had any damage, so I think he got relatively scot-free damage, so I think he's just coming in to chuck some new tyres on that car, just because the rears will have heated up, and Ruben's just missed his pit lane as well. So he's just had a bit of a moment coming into pit lane, overshot his pit marker, and yeah, that's going to cost him a tiny bit of time. Luckily, though, it is under caution, so it's not as bad as it would have been otherwise.
And a nice long lap here as well, so plenty of time for them to sit there and get some of those repairs done. As you say, it doesn't look like there's too much damage to Mirko's car or to Traher's, or for that sake, to Ruben Phelps's car. Troy Davison copped the brunt of the damage in that caution.
Yeah, the left side of Phelps's car is a little bit caved in, so he's got quite a bit of damage to the left rear and left side of the car. We'll get that soon. There we go. So fair bit of bodywork damage, which is not what you want on a track that is quite fast, like Autoclub Speedway. It is a fast circuit, and yeah, it's not going to help you out in the long run. Luke Traher has mainly got a little bit of damage to the front, I believe. Just on the front right, a tiny bit of damage, but most of that will have been repaired now for him. So he should be good getting back to this race. But as we've said in the past, it's always easier to win in a clean car than it is to win in a damaged car. Yeah,
absolutely. And just to have a quick check around Dortnak's car there, as I said, I think you're right. He basically got away with it. It was just the evasive action that was taken that ended up causing the spin and the caution. So Dortnak got away with that one a little bit scot-free.
Yeah, that's some mild good news for him. I mean, obviously you don't want to have that happen, and I think the thing that he'll be kicking himself most about is the fact it did cause an accident behind him. he managed to basically just spin himself, save himself from getting in a wreck and stop himself wrecking anybody else's race. But unfortunately, a couple of people so close behind him on a start like that, they couldn't do the avoiding action. So we had that moment of accident come into play. Yeah, once everybody settles in a little bit, you should be in for some good action. Of course, one other thing that does catch you out a little bit is track temperature will have dropped a fair bit because of the sun going down. So it's about 19 degrees Celsius here now. So it's dropped a fair bit. And sometimes from practice, you're driving around in practice, you get used to the car. You come into a race where the temperature's dropped and then all of a sudden it handles differently in that first corner and you get caught out. And I think that's what's happened back towards the back of the pack. So I think people will be a little bit more tentative on this restart. We'll see how that goes because the pace car is about to come in. Mickelmore once again launches it. He does not wait at one moment. Gets away very well there for Josh Mickelmore. Everybody else behind him caught a little bit napping. Michael Skurlock managing to get a jump over Lachlan Urquio again. So he's going to try and slip it down in front of Lockie Urquio right there, which he does. Brenton Hobson getting a good charge up the field as well as Brenton West. So those guys trying to make some positions early in this stage of the race. Can see Hamish Gallagher going 3 wide down the back straight now. Gallagher has got past West. He's now getting past Stephen Williams. Will he be able to make the move done? Hobson moves up in front of him. This is going to give Gallagher a little bit of a draft, so he should get a little bit of a pull with that one. Destabilises the car a little bit mid-corner. Gallagher just loses the back end, so does Hobson. They just managed to settle it down. This is going to give Williams a little bit better drive, but you'll see Gallagher have the draft, which is going to pull him along, get him in front of Williams, get him up another position. Crucial for Gallagher.
Yeah, good run there from Hamish. You can see the drivers all just trying to work out the line to take here. Plenty of room on the track for them to just choose a line and work out which one's going to work best for them at this early part of the race. And Mickelmore there just moving up into that high line again, which is seems to be working for him so far. Scully's decided that he's going to do the same thing. Lachlan Urquio's just tucked up in behind him. So just plenty of discovery going on here. Brenton Hobson up 6 spots. He's had a fantastic restart. You can see him there just in the 54 at the bottom of the screen, just starting to work out how he's going to challenge this man, Michael Skurlock, to jump up into third position. Into second place, my apologies.
Yeah, he's got Lachlan Urquio to beat as well. Lachlan's just sitting up there on that high line at the moment, and Hobson's now following him on the high line. He's just experimented which line he likes best for Hobbo. He was having a good little dice and just cut down in front of Gallagher as well. Gallagher tried to get past Hobson, and Hobson had nothing of it. It got down in front of Gallagher's nose, cut him off, stopped him having the run, managed to save that position. As they go back to the low line here, you can see those two cars choosing the low line. Michael Skurlock choosing the middle line, Lachlan Urquio choosing the high line. They're all running different lines at the moment. Nobody's sure which one is the fastest, but they're all trying out just to work out which one is. A bit of experimentation there for all the drivers.
Yeah, indeed. So, see which one works out best for everyone.
As Mickelmore does have the lead, still he's built up a nice little bit of a gap right here, about half a second over Skurlock. But you can see Hobson is now putting the pressure on Urquio. Urquio comes down to cut Hobson off, stop him from getting the charge on the low line. Hobson going to try the high line. Urquio just eases the wheel out there. Just loosens up a little bit just so he drifts up in front of Hobson there. So he can't make the pass. Hobson's going to get a good run off this corner, but he's got Gallagher underneath him blocking him at the moment. So those two aren't going to make a position. Right here, though, Hobson is doing Urquio a little bit of a favour, just giving him a little bit of a bump draft, helping him along a tiny, tiny bit there. But you can see Gallagher is just going to choose that low line. He's sitting there just going, yep, you boys fight. I'm just going to move up in front of you and take this position. Hobson seeing what's going on. He drops down to them. Gallagher's just had to lift it off a little bit there. And now Hobson's managed to get back in front of Gallagher.
Some great driving there from Hobbo, just identifying that early, dropping down a couple of lanes, and then just managing to move back up and close out Hamish Gallagher. Gallagher here looking to do the similar thing to him in return, just hasn't quite got the exit there, but he's going to get the run through here as he stays on that low line. Hobbo just does it again, just ducks down in front of him, make sure that he manages that position, and Urquio will be hoping that this continues between the two of them because it's just ever so slightly opened up a gap. And the pressure just gets taken off him a little bit as those two start to try and manoeuvre their way, see if they can make that position up and then challenge Urquhart for third.
Yeah, great driving by all of these guys at the moment. They're just absolutely dicing away at the moment, trying to block each other and race each other at the same time. It's all about that car positioning. Hobson got a good run this time round on that low line. He's going to get a fairly good run off the corner, but with Urquhart up high, it just gives you a little bit more speed off the corner. You get a little bit better traction coming out of the corner when you're on that slightly higher line generally, because you can square off the corner a little bit, so you get a little bit more straight line speed. So that's what's kept him ahead of Hobson at the moment. Hobson still trying that low line. You'll see Hobson catch right up to Urquhart through the corner, taking that low line, but then he'll drop back on the straights. So he's trying his best to unsettle that car ahead of him. He's trying to unsettle the 42, trying to make him go into a defensive position that he can then take advantage of. And while they're fighting away like this, it's giving Hamish Gallagher the chance to really catch up and fight away too. And then just behind him, you've got the group of Stephen Williams, Brenton West, Scott Griffiths, Matt Hunter, Cade Donnelly as well, just having a good little battle. There is a bit of a gap between Hunter and Donnelly at the moment. Hunter and Donnelly, but not Donnelly, Hunter
Dyson,
and Dyson.
Yeah,
there we go. Eventually get it. But Dyson is catching up now. So these guys are really working it out, and then back to non-companions off the back of that pack a little bit. But there is a good little battle going on back there, but we're just having to keep an eye on the front at the moment because this battle is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there now Hobbo's got a little bit of run on Lachlan Urquhart, so he's just managed to shake a little bit of the threat from Hamish Gallagher, and I do mean a smidge of the threat, because Gallagher's just closed back up on him again here, but now it is absolutely a three-way battle for third position, and these guys catching up to Michael Skurlock and Josh Mickelmore as well. Hobbo's trying to duck down into that middle lane here to get the job done. He's just decided against it for the minute. They're also approaching some lap traffic, I think, with Ruben Phelps. That might be just up in front too, so they're going to have that to contend with shortly. But the battle here for third is between those three drivers, and Stephen Williams is wanting to get involved here as well. You can see the distance just between them here. This is going to be a good, strong fight if we stay green for a while.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be some great pack racing here at Autoclub, and you can just see these guys, they're just trying those different lines right now. Mickelmore's still holding that high line. He's running right up the top. Skurlock's going to try and make for a little bit of a run. He's going to try and use Ruben Phelps to give him a little bit of a tow as well through that corner. Uses that tow to his advantage. Gets right on the back of Mickelmore right here. So Skurlock is really catching up to Mickelmore right now. And Urquhart is right on the back of these guys too. There is nothing between the top six, less than about a second between the top six at the moment. So they are nose abreast at the moment. Just car after car after car. Skurlock's going to try and make the move down at the front straight right here. Skurlock's got the inside line. He's going to try and use Ruben Phelps to block off Josh Mickelmore. Ruben Phelps is caught in the middle, but Ruben Phelps moves down to give Mickelmore the opportunity to go up high. How's this going to work out for Skurlock? He needed Ruben Phelps just to stay up on that high line and just keep in the way there he was hoping for. Phelps has moved out the way, I think, completely, right on the bottom line. So he's going to let these two go past, but it did help close up Skurlock to Mickelmore there. Really nice driving there by Skurlock, just using the lapped car to his advantage. And that's something you have to do on an oval sometimes, is you just try and box cars in with other lapped cars. Little tiny games like that just to help you out a little bit in trying to get the lead of a race.
What it's meant as well is that Lachlan Urquhart has managed to close that gap up, so he's now well and truly involved in the fight for the lead, as is Brenton Hobson and Hamish Gallagher, Stephen Williams as well. So it has opened the pack right up.
Caught the wall. Mickelmore just caught the wall that time round. This is going to give Skurlock a good run on him down the back straight. We're going to see Skurlock make a dive into the final corner. Will it have cost Mickelmore much speed there, just tagging the wall? A little bit damage to the right front, but that could hurt him over a long period, especially over a long run. Just unsettles the car a little bit.
Extraordinarily close at the front here. It's great racing. 17 laps into 75. And it is Josh Mickelmore who's led every lap so far. He hasn't had it all his own way, though. He's been under pressure for a number of laps now from Michael Skurlock, if you have just joined us. And you can see there, literally, we've almost got one solid train from first position all the way back through the pack now. It didn't start out like that. It's closed up a bit now as we've progressed into the race, as Hobbo looks to make a move down the inside of Lachlan Urquhart. Just not quite far enough up at the moment to do it, but he'll be putting that question into Urquhart's mind as he tries to get himself into a position to challenge for P3 again. And look, Urquhart's equally doing the same thing to Skurlock. So this battle at the front here, extraordinarily good. Great driving from all three of them. Just jostling, looking to find a way through to the front of this race. Is there a little bit of mindset here to maybe manage and just sit in the pack?
I think everybody wants to lead this race at the moment. I think it is all about wanting to lead at the moment. Mickelmore is right on the edge of it, though. Just watching him get so close to the barriers lap after lap, he's using that little bit of air cushion to his advantage and just bouncing off the wall. But this time, I think Skurlock's finally got the pace to do it, and he's now Mickelmore's going to have to defend against Lachlan Urquhart as well. Lachlan's going to give him a little bit of a bump draft here as they start to get close to each other, and that's where, you know, sort of effectively the two cars turn into one and you lose a little bit of the drag on the car effectively, so it makes you go a little bit quicker. It does unsettle the car though, so you do get a little bit of a different feeling in the car, and it makes things a little bit different after the lap, so sometimes it can catch drivers out. These guys are all very experienced at the front. Mickelmore and Skurlock side by side there, a cigarette paper between those two cars you could not even fit. They are absolutely going for it at the moment.
Yeah, it's good battling. Urquhart here is going to figure he's going to have a run on. Hobbo's just down there in the middle trying to look at being the cheese in the sandwich. Decides against it, jumps into the train. So we've got three here. This will put Skurly under a little bit of pressure again. And in fact, Josh Mickelmore just edges in front in the lead at the moment. It's only a paper lead as Skurly will get a better exit there and does. And we're now looking at a 2x2 for the first time in the race tonight. Skurly just moves up on Mickelmore there just to make sure he stays high. He does that, gives Skurly the run on the low line with Hobbo. And you can see there, good pictures there from the blimp. Lachlan Urquhart catching up onto the back of the 31 of Josh Mickelmore. Probably looking to help him move along as well. Skurly's running just down there in the low line, just cutting the track as he can. And he'll get things back underway here. Just dropping behind Josh Mickelmore. And picking that back up again. So it looked like Hobbo got a little bit loose there as he dropped off screen. Might have just been a perception issue.
Somebody they did get loose was Hamish Gallagher a little bit further back. He's actually made contact in the wall as Lachlan Urquhart tries to make a move on Mickelmore this time. He's going down on the inside now. And he's going to launch that car underneath Mickelmore and Skurlock at the same time. He gets a great run there. Can't quite make it done on Skurly, but does get it done on Mickelmore. Scully's just going to come down in front of Urquhart. Urquhart gets a little bit loose. The car just unsettles a little bit with that dirty air coming across the nose. He holds it well though, but it's just dropped off a little bit of time. You can see that gap from Skurlock now to Urquhart. It's given Hobson the opportunity to get past Mickelmore as well. I'm wondering how much that little bit of contact to the wall has hurt Mickelmore though, because as we said, you know, any little bit of aero damage here, it can affect the car. You can lose critically a km/h top speed, which doesn't sound like much, but on an oval like this where you are running up close to 300 km/h at the end of the straight, it does make a big difference.
Yeah, just that tyre wear as you said as well. So Urquhart up into second place. He's gone. We've got Hobbo with him, Steve Williams in fourth as we stand. We've got Josh Mickelmore currently in fifth. With that West joining into this battle, Hamish Gallagher, you can see them all there, Donnelly, and then a little bit of a step back to Dyson and Finlay as our top 10, 23 laps through 75. Hobbo gets into the wall there. So he's just grabbed that wall, yeah.
This is good news for Stephen Williams, who's doing his usual ninja skills of just creeping up the field without being noticed too much. Stevie Dub just creeping his way up there. Brenton West as well having another good run in that very pretty double 1-3 car. He is catching right up to the back of Stephen Williams at the moment, sorry. So he's trying to get right onto the back of him as well. It's just started to ease off a little bit at the front. Skurlock has got a little bit of breathing room. And everybody's settled down into a single line at the moment at the very front of the field. But we have Kay Donnelly and Brenton West side by side, a little bit further back for 6th and 7th. You can see Stephen Williams is running up a little bit high this time round. He's trying out the high line. Hamish Gallagher's dropped all the way back into 8th position now, so he's falling down the field a little bit after a great start for Hamish Gallagher. Has to be said, but that damage on the front definitely affecting him now. He's struggling just that fair bit and falling into the grasp of Andrew Dyson.
I'll be hoping to some extent that he'll get a caution period. It'll let him jump into pit lane, maybe get a little bit of that damage corrected and put a new set of boots onto it as well.
Yeah, that's it. The virtual hammers will come out and straighten up the bodywork a little bit, and that will help out an enormous amount. But, you know, when you want a caution, it never comes. That's usually how cautions work in motorsport, is when you actually want one, it doesn't come. When you want it to go nice and green, then that caution will appear. As Dyson makes the move on Gallagher right here down the back straight. So Dyson working his way up the field as well, so he's trying to get his way up there, but he's going to touch the wall as well. Dyson up into the wall, a little bit of damage to the side of that car, it's not going to help him out, and that's going to make him fall back into the grasp of Finley and Wellman. So all of the drivers just struggling with the exit. It looks like the cars are just getting a little bit tight now. Track temperature's dropping, of course. The car's getting lighter as they have a little bit less fuel on board, and of course those tyres start to drop off as well. And then all of a sudden you find yourself struggling a little bit with the lines that you would normally take, and you have to sort of adapt a little bit as you drive around a track like this.
Yeah, absolutely. What's any idea on fuel window tonight?
As usual, in my total preparedness, not a clue. So I would imagine on a track like this we'd be looking at around about one stop, so probably around about lap...
About halfway.
40, yeah, probably about lap 40, I'd say they'd be looking at coming in. But we have often been surprised in the past, so I'm sure we'll soon be proved wrong, and they're probably running out of fuel as we speak. But yeah, usually a single stop on a track like this, in all honesty.
All right, you can see there Stephen Williams now just back as we've got a caution. We've got a caution from Troy Davison. So we were absolutely wrong, because they'll all come into pit lane now and get their services done. But Troy Davison there, looks like he may have had just a single car incident. We'll jump back and have a quick look at that.
Engine blew at the worst possible time. So he was basically right in front of the field there, and he's just had to roll it up at the top of the field and wait for all these cars to pass before he can slide it down. So he's had to wait for everybody to get past before he can actually get the car down, unfortunately, because he had an engine blowout. So, yeah, unfortunate there for Troy Davidson. He was trying to get it around. He's just dropped it down and then hit the old toe key. But unfortunately, iRacing deemed it as a caution. So this is going to be a great aid for some of those drivers with a little bit of damage. They'll be able to get a quick repair. It's probably going to hurt Skurley a little bit.
I think iRacing got some work to do there. It's disappointing that brought out a caution when the driver was able to pull the car off the track, and of course a fake caution, I would say, for the evening. Yeah,
no harm done. Well, no harm or foul from Troy Davidson, in all honesty.
No, not at all.
He did all he could do, and he stopped on the apron hoping that would not bring out the caution. Unfortunately, it did. So, it's one of those annoying things, is sometimes it won't bring out a caution, and then another time it will. And it's almost like a 50-50 sort of outcome, but nothing more Troy Davidson could have done that.
No, not at all.
At all. So no problem at all from that one. Just an unfortunate one there. Sadly, his engine just had enough. He did a good job of actually keeping it up on that high line, because he was in the worst possible place for that engine to blow, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Nothing more that he could have done. It shouldn't trigger when the driver pulls down onto the line like that and stops. I don't know if they can introduce some sort of speed dependent part of it. I really don't know enough about it, but it shouldn't be pulling out a caution for that.
Yeah, that gets into the programming side and numbers and things that are way past our paychecks. Um, but a big shame for that to happen because we were having some great green flag racing, and this means we're going to have to get a restart done. And what do we say, Stuart?
Well, we say restarts or cautions, precautions, Carl.
That's it. Always a dangerous time of a race is when you have a restart happening, because all those cars are going to be backed up together. They're all going to be out there on relatively cool tyres, and they've got to start the race all over again. They're going to be in close proximity. They've had a lot of time on those older tyres now, so the grip levels are going to change. The car's going to change the way it handles as well, because it's going to be much heavier with fuel now. So this could be the time where we see another caution, unfortunately. Hopefully, though, we get a good, clean restart. We can get back to that good racing that we were seeing, because we were seeing some fantastic stuff playing out there. But unfortunately, the caution came out at the worst possible time for people like Michael Skurlock, Lachlan Oakley, Brenton Hobson. Possibly a great time for Josh Micklemore and Hamish Gallagher, because they've managed to get the eye hammer out and just tap some of those panels into the correct position. Also, Andrew Dyson as well. He'll have a quick little tap of the old mallet on the side of the car, just make that a little bit straighter, and hopefully just give them a little bit of speed back.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say Josh Micklemore here, probably the biggest winner out of that, because he was struggling a little bit out of that with that damage and just that early battling as well, taking it out of the 31 Mitch Motorsport entry. So he'll be wrapped that came out when it did. Back up into 4th place, and he's now ready, set to fight again. It'll be Michael Skurlock who will lead us away once the safety car pulls in this time around. And yeah, he's probably the one that unfortunately didn't get the biggest advantage out of that, nor Lockie Urquio. So we'll see how they fare. The Sim boys there just threatening in the background as well. It's good to see them back up towards the front of the field. So with Kate Donnelly there just sitting in 5th position. So we'll see how they go. They can work together, himself, Donnelly and Christopher Finlay. So there's plenty to go in this race. Dyso's in friendly territory as well with Steve Williams with him. So lots to come here for what should hopefully be 45 laps, I think, of green flag racing. So no further pit stops to come. Hopefully.
Skurlock's going to lead away as we go to green. Nice start from Skurley. He drops right down on that apron. Gets a good start there. Good leap over Hobson. Lachlan Oakio is going to just lose a position to Hobbo right here, I'd say. And Kate Donnelly as well. Really nice start from him. He's managed to make it up there, fighting it up with Lockie. Although Josh Micklemore is saying, no, you're going to have to fight for this position if you want it, mate. I am the top blue car in this series. And I'm going to fight you for that position. Well, I guess Hobson could possibly take that line as well, as we've got Nigel Patton just off in the background. He just had a little bit of a tank slapper, but managed to keep it going in the right direction. But those guys fighting it out at the moment. Bit of blue-on-blue action between Donnelly and Micklemore.
Yeah, once again, we see Urquio there take that high line. Micklemore, Kate Donnelly looking like he's got the job done there, but Josh Micklemore all over the back of him like a rash at the moment. So he's just using the bump there to try and catch back up. They've caught back up on the back of Lachlan Urquio. Just see in the background there, Andrew Dyson. He's had a good restart as well, as he's got up into 6th position now, up 10 spots. He's got Donnelly there just catching the wall, and Micklemore doing very well to take a little bit of evasive action and not end up examining the boot of Kate Donnelly, the number 40 entry. So good running for him there, as well as Micklemore now looks to get down underneath Kate Donnelly. He's got his teammate on the inside as well. He's going to jump up behind him, and they're going to work together a little bit. Just getting a bit loose there in the pack. They're all getting a bit nervous. 2 by 2 as they go, and it is Gallagher, Donnelly, and Josh Micklemore there just battling away. Donnelly got up on that higher line. It looks like Andrew Dyson's chosen to go with him as well, so he's getting the advantage there as Micklemore just pulls up in behind Hamish Gallagher just to close out that 5th position. And I tell you what, who this has helped, Michael Skurlock, 2 seconds to the good out at the front of this pack, and Brenton Hobson as well having a good restart. He is equally a little bit further up the straight.
Yeah, Brenton West as well having a nice little battle there with Andrew Dyson at the moment. They're side by side, and that little bit of contact for Donnelly just helped him just get a little bit of a leap. Amazingly, Josh Micklemore just goes to show the speed of Micklemore, the fact that he had to ease off behind Donnelly, and now he's up there fighting with the top guys once again. Hobson is in second, and he's got a very fast-charging Hamish Gallagher. Now he's got those repairs done. Gallagher looks to have that speed back right now. Crio's lost out a little bit from this to the two Mitch Motorsport boys, but he is going to try and hold on. He's going to keep on battling that beautiful to the bet helmet design that Crio does run, but he's going to try his best to keep up there and keep battling it out to keep it in the top 5.
He just checks out at the front here. He's going to probably have some...
And we've got some great battling going on in a little bit further back. They were 3 wide with West, Wellman and Hunter there. West managing to get the best out of that one. But guys are running a little bit racy at the moment. Now they've got a little bit of meat on those tyres. Now they've got a little bit of grip again. They're starting to run side by side again, starting to run 2, 3 wide as they come over to the lines, and really starting to put some pressure on each other at this stage of the race. Great to see from everybody.
Yeah, Wellman just getting the better of it all there. He's trying to latch onto the back of Andrew Dyson and Lachlan Urquhart in that battle, and you can just see there the Mitch Motorsport boys, Hamish Gallagher, Josh Micklemore, currently putting the screw in to Brenton Hobson to try and get up into second position. So you can see how close they're running together there, just working the way they need to. And Urquhart Williams just closed in as well. Sorry, that was Andrew Dyson. Urquhart and Andrew Dyson closing in. Dyson's jumped down into the low line here. He's just jumped onto the back of Josh Micklemore. He's going to carry on with that low line if he can. Looks like Matty Hunter trying to go with him as well, as the 13 of Hamish Gallagher drops down to that low line there. But you never know here. Dyson, yeah, just using Hamish Gallagher to his advantage to move up and take that position away from Josh Micklemore. So good move there from Andrew Dyson. Just got a little wide there though on the exit. He's clipped the wall again, Dyso, so that's going to cost him. And that's handed that position back to handed that position back, I should say, to Josh Micklemore, and it has impacted on Lachlan Urquhart's run as he was right behind him while he got caught up in the wall.
Matty Hunter having a really good run at the moment. He's right up there in 6th position, just getting underneath Andrew Dyson as well. Nice to see. Series admin and member of the ANZCAR board, Matty Hunter, having a good run out there. Always nice to see for that one. But at the moment, Skurlock is he might have been a little bit annoyed about that caution coming out when it did. I think he sort of felt a little bit hard done by, but at the moment it's helped him out an enormous amount because he's 3.5 seconds in the lead.
I was about to say, who?
Yeah.
He's checked out. Absolutely checked out at the front. Well, these guys are battling away for the scraps, you would say.
That's it. Scully has just decided, no, I'm bored with racing with everything. I'm just going to have a bit of a drive on my own, a little bit of a Sunday drive for Scully at the moment. But these guys battling has helped him out an enormous amount. You can see how tight it is in this pack. You sort of look at P2 all the way down to P11 in this fight. Well, P11, P12 actually, because you can just see Matty Raymond lurking around in the background there as well. It is absolutely nothing between this group of cars. There is less than half a second covering third to ninth almost, you know, so that says a lot about how close it is at the moment.
And amazingly enough, Andrew Dyson, after scrubbing the wall, is back up into third.
Oh, he's not just back up into third, he's battling it out with Hamish Gallagher, trying to get up into second at the moment. You can see Hobson just dropping off a little bit there, and this is going to allow Dyso to get a bit of a run right here on Hamish Gallagher, get up there into second position. So that scrape against the wall has not hurt him any bit.
Fantastic driving from him. I was just going to say quickly, the inverted livery of the DPR entries, this black and red that they're running, actually reminds me, he gets up into the wall again there, Dyso just clips it. That's going to give Gallagher the advantage in this run, so he may only hold on to that position temporarily. But it just reminds me of the old VNVP Ampol Max Commodore that used to run in the Australian Touring Car Championship, so not quite relevant, but I was just looking at it, why does it look so familiar? and that's what it is. But Daiso drops that position there just after scrubbing the wall again, but he said, I'm not going to have that for too long. I'll put the challenge back in again. Hamish is very pacey in the DPR entry. It's great stuff.
He's using the old Gran Turismo method of getting around the track by running on the walls at the moment. So, yeah, it's paying off for him at the moment. Of course, what that does is it makes the car a little bit worse later in the race as Gallagher just gets a little bit loose mid-corner there. Just has to feather the throttle and the wheel a little bit, and that's going to give Micklemore a run on his teammate. But he's getting a run on Dyson as well. So, it looks like Dyson's definitely struggling with the straight line pace, but he's got the corner pace at the moment. So, that is helping him out an enormous amount. So, really good racing. You can see Matt Hunter right at the back of this pack now. He's caught up to these guys, and he's trying to get involved in this melee as well as Lachlan Urquhart. You can see Hobson just dropping all the way back there. He was running in second a couple of laps ago. He's now down in seventh through no fault. Oh, as Gallagher's made a big hit into the wall. That's going to hurt him a lot. That was much heavier contact than we saw Dyson make. So that is going to affect him a fair bit there. And you can just see the cars around him just getting a little bit skittish. Josh Micklemore having to go down a little bit. That's going to drop him off the pace. Matt Hunter there going to slide in behind Daiso, trying to get underneath Gallagher at the moment. It's going to be very close at the moment. Almost contact. Gallagher just gets a little bit loose as he gets close. A little bit of that side draft hitting Gallagher and just unsettling the car. And that's going to give Hunter that position. Hunter working his way up into fourth position at the moment. Josh Micklemore trying to make the run as it stands there. Too wide across the start-finish line at the moment. It's Micklemore, Gallagher, Hobson at the moment. And behind them, there is a whole gaggle of cars as Dyson just goes up into the wall again, I think, and is going to lose a couple of positions. No, he's just lost positions because he got very loose in the corner. That car just getting really, really loose in the mid-corner. He just had to catch and slide a little bit, lost a little bit of pace, and that made him pull back. That's given Micklemore the opportunity to get down on Hunter right now. They're going to be free wide through the corner right here. It's Dyson up the top, Hunter in the middle, and Micklemore at the bottom. Who's going to get a better run off the corner? You should say Hunter. He's got a bit of a cleaner car right here, but he's got to defend against Gallagher. This is great action.
Yeah, and again, Daiso wins out. So that car very strong through the corner. He's just missing out as you said on the straight. So he's back up into second place. Matty Hunter in third. Micklemore on the low line. I was going to call it out before, Carl, then that Daiso had the same trick played against him that he executed. That's what made him want to try and drop down into that low line, is he was very aware that Micklemore and Gallagher were going to try and squeeze him up against the wall and then move down and take that position away, as they're looking to do that again here now. And Matty Hunter there just sticking in that middle lane, doing a great job. Lachlan Urquhart up behind him, as once again we form back up too wide, and the Mitch Motorsport boys have managed to work their way down into that bottom line. Look who's there as well. Hobbo is joining into this battle again now. So a couple of guys have refreshed themselves and they're like, yep, let's go again. We're ready to go as we're 45 through 75 here, and it's fantastic racing at the front of the pack. I don't know where to look.
I reckon you missed it on the camera, Stuart, because Michael Skurlock went into the wall just as the camera was just catching it. We saw Skurley just going up against the wall, and then a whole sheet of sparks come up, and he's got some damage to the right front of that car right now. So he just clobbered the wall as we were just seeing him in the foreground. He's got almost a 5-second lead still, but he has got some damage on the front of that car now, so that's going to hurt him a little bit possibly. We'll see how that one returns later in the race, but we've got to keep an eye on second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th position, 16th, 17th, 18th position, because this battle is just everything at the moment. All of these cars are in the battle at the moment. It's crazy to see.
Josh Mickelmore's checked out a little bit at the front here, but you know he won't probably get away with it for too long, with the rest of the supporting members of the cast of friends just coming down behind him here and looking to wreck the episode for him. So Andrew Dyson back up into third position. Gallagher fourth. We've got Hunter in fifth. Hobbo's just got past Lachlan Urquhart on the low side, but he's got Gary Willman right up his clacker. So there's plenty of racy cars getting involved in this lead. You wouldn't want to be a betting man right now trying to put the odds on who's going to come out in second here, because it could be anyone at the moment out on track, to be brutally honest.
Well, I wouldn't want to be the betting man to put the money on the winner at the moment, because Skurlock is losing time. He's lost about 0.4 of a second these last couple of laps, so he's starting to struggle out there a little bit with that damage possibly. So Skurley is falling off in pace a little bit, so we'll keep a bit of an eye on that one. But at the moment, Josh Micklemore's just managed to break away a little bit in second place, so he's going to try and start to catch up to Skurley. That's going to be his main goal, and Andrew Dyson now just has to be the car that puts up with all this pressure of the battling pack behind him, the absolute furball that's going on behind him at the moment of so many cars in just vying for that third position as it stands. You can see Hamish Gallagher trying for another run on the low side. He's going to try and get down there. Hobson now back on the low side with Brenton West as well. That high side consisting of Dyson, Hunter, Urquio and Gary Wellman as well. So, you know, it's anybody's race up there. These guys are really pushing hard.
Absolutely they are. I just wonder if Michael Scott might just manage the race a little bit. He's about a tenth down on Josh Micklemore last time around. So with such a strong gap at the front of the field, 4.5 seconds still, I just think maybe from here he might just try and manage the pace a little bit. Maybe let the tyres, if they were a bit overheated, come back to him and see if he can't just sort of stretch that lead or hold it at that 4.5 second mark where it's currently sitting.
Yeah, I think he's going to... His big problem now is just going to be concentration, keeping focus up there. He's going to be looking in his mirrors a couple of times and seeing these guys battling away, going, oh, I wouldn't mind a little bit of that action maybe, but I would like to still be in the lead, of course. But it's just sometimes keeping focus when you have got a lead like that, because it's easy to start losing it and then have problems happen. It's easy just to take your focus off your driving for a second and then clobber the wall. So we'll keep a bit of an eye on that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to keep a bit of an ear on some of the cars and see as well, because just wondering, you know, there was quite a few laps to go still when we came into the pit lane. Are we going to see a little bit of fuel saving here? Are we going to see one last round of pit stops? Because I've got a feeling Skurlock is fuel saving at the moment. So I've just noticed he's really been losing a lot of pace, and we'll take a bit of a watch from the inside here. Watch as he gets to the next corner. He's not really revving it to its maximum. He's sort of a little bit off speed. And yeah,
there it is,
collecting it down. So Scully is fuel saving. So we know now that they are a little bit close on fuel.
And of course, running out at the front by yourself means there's no one to help you save.
That is very much true. Of course, Josh Micklemore's going to have the exact same problem because he's got nobody there to really help him, and he's been racing very hard as well. Trouble is, these guys, they're not going to be thinking about the fuel saving. I think they're going to be thinking about the hard racing just in case a caution comes out. So Skurley's managed to build up a nice big gap here where he can afford to fuel save a little bit more than the others. And this could be good news for him. Everybody else, though, I think, is pretty much hard on it, and they are just flat chat because they can't afford to lift, because if they do, they're going to end up dropping around about 6-7 positions.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how this plays out. 24 to go. And they're still battling hard and fast. Matty Hunter coming under a bit of pressure now from Lachlan Urquio. There's some small gaps opening up. Dyson, as Hobbo goes down the inside of Urquio here. And it looks like Brenton West's going to want to go with him. As you say, Andrew Dyson's starting to catch up onto the back of Josh Micklemore as well. So that battle will resume, you would assume. At this point in time, West just looking to grab a draft there from Brenton Hobson, and Urquio doing the same with Matt Hunter. This pack will close back up again. You can see it already. Gary Wellman's looking pacey, so it's just sort of mellowed for a lap or two, if you want to call it mellowing. But just mellowed for a lap or two, and it's just starting to bubble away again now. As the guys realise they've only got 23 to go, they've got to start trying to get some stuff done.
Yeah, that's it, because that caution came out on lap 27, 28, yeah, and they went back to racing about lap 30, about lap 30-ish, so it was well under half distance, so they had to, I think, 46 laps to go, I think. So if we were saying, I think we were saying at the start probably about 40 laps on a tank of fuel, they might be a little bit shy towards the end, so there's still a lot that can happen in this race. I mean, a lot's happening right here on screen as well. We've got an epic battle going on as it stands. But we've still got the thing of, well, fuel strategy's still got to come into play here tonight as well.
Well, you can't, there's one thing you can't do, which is to contest for a result if you're out of fuel. So, you know, we've got some pretty savvy drivers in this pack. I'm sure some of them will be starting to think about it question whether or not they're going to need to make a call and maybe just get a splash and dash. At that time, do you put fresh tyres on? You know, there's a lot of questions to be answered here. You're going to go down with the pit lane transit time. It's going to be borderline as to whether or not you're going to get lapped. So there's a few big questions to get through before they decide to duck down into pit lane.
They'll be hoping for a caution to come out. That's what they'll be hoping for, and that's if they know they can't make it to the end on fuel, they'll be fuel saving. Somebody like Skurlock will be fuel saving just in case he can go an extra lap and that caution does come out, and so he can take it under yellow and save himself a little bit of time. So that's going to be I think that's going to be the key to the whole thing right here. Of course, Autoclub, you're probably going to just about go down a lap at racing speed, I'd say. So, you know, if that's the case, then it does get to that stage where, you know, you want to keep it going out for as long as possible in the green flag, because you don't want to fall down a lap. That's going to hurt you an enormous amount.
Yeah, well, we haven't got long to wait to find out. There's less than 10 minutes to go in this race as it stands. So, there's Hobbo still fighting away with Lachlan Urquio there, with Brenton West right behind him. And Josh Micklemore and Andrew Dyson have checked out ever so slightly, but they're not far enough off to consider those two positions done. Dyso putting the pressure onto the back of Micklemore. And Big Dave Double D's jumped into the chat and said that Matty Hunter's having a good run. He absolutely is. Dave's good to see him up in this battle pack, which basically involves everyone in the field, with the exception of the Windsor Fiddler, as you call him. So he's checked out at the front. There he is on the screen there, just moseying on down. But here comes the rest of this absolutely fantastic pack of cars battling away for position 2 and 3, effectively.
Taking the camera as they do, with beautiful little extra to have on the stream with that one, of course. But yeah, Matty Hunter having a really good run, same as Lachlan Urquio. He's just right up there behind Matty Hunter at the moment. Brenton West too, another good strong result from him tonight. Good run as well. Got Mr. Sheen keeping it very clean up there too. Matty Ray, he has worked his way up to P9, 12 positions gained in this race. Not the biggest position gainer though, because that's Andrew Dyson at the moment with 13 spots gained so far. So I think this is going to come down to a bit of a nail biter. We've seen races come down to the line with fuel in the past, of course. We've seen guys coughing across the line and people coming from the back to gain a victory from nowhere because somebody up front has just run a little bit lean on the fuel, and I think this might be one of those races.
Yeah, in fact, we have had a couple of close finishes already this season on fuel and seen some amazing runs as well with the one-stop strategy that I think Hobbo pulled out as well, or was it Dyso pulled out? So we've had some long runs too, well-managed fuel, so see how this one pans out. It's a good finish here for the penultimate round of the Thunder Series and these Xfinity cars. So how will this one turn out? You can just see here we're on board with Matty Ray. He's decided now's a good time to make a charge. He's in a very, very clean looking 83 as usual. And he's just moving up now. He's into 8th position. He's challenging West and Hobson for that position. He's probably got Urquio in his sights as well. And Gary Wellman jumps in behind him. So there's a challenge imminent here in this cluster that's being led by Matty Hunter. And there's a 10th between Micklemore and Dyson as they seek out the stronger line. Hunter's trying to go with them, so that's your battle for the front 3 positions. But you can just see there plenty of jostling going on in the background, and Skirley's just maintaining the gap here. It's just been sitting at around about that 2 and a 10th mark at the front there, and he's still managing that margin, so he's still fuel saving, but just managing to maintain the pace that he needs to maintain the gap.
Yeah, watch out for Matty Ray. He's just been sat at the back of this pack constantly for the last, well, since we went green all those laps ago. For the last 40-odd laps, he's been sitting there and just half throttled, saving the fuel a little bit. So he's probably got a little bit more fuel than most of the guys around him. So he might be feeling a little bit more confident now and decided to open up that engine a little bit, let that thing breathe and let it eat a little bit more fuel than some of the guys around him. So he is definitely on a bit of a charge. So this could be good news for Mr. Matty Ray. So watch out for him later in this race. Gary Wellman as well. We saw he managed to make the fuel strategy work in at Talladega, I think it was, and got the win there, of course, in I think it was trucks. Trying to think back now, but on fuel he managed to get that one, of course. So it's going to get pretty nail biting. We've got 13 laps to go. It is getting closer and closer each time round.
Yeah, and even just there, Brenton West closing right up on the back of Andrew Dyson. So it's anyone's call at the moment. Urquio just getting sandwiched in a little bit there between Hunter and Hobbo. So he just it looked like he got it held up ever so slightly there. Just maybe got a little bit of better drive out of the corner, but had to slow that one up as Micklemore now is under challenge again from Dyson. Brenton West in a good position with them, and Hobbo's dropped into that low line as well. So as you say, Matty Ray just in that high line there. He's looking clean, he's looking pacey as well. He's going to have to start making things happen. We've only got 13 to go here. And Skirley's margin just dropped below 2 seconds now, so he's still fuel saving. It's about a tenth a lap that he is dropping down. And you've got to imagine that he may be the only one that could be confident of getting to the end here, other than some of those guys a little bit further down who were saving in at the pack, Carl.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I'd expect to see somebody come into pit lane if they are a bit tight on fuel. I'd expect them to come in the next lap or two so they can get some clean running on some fresh tyres and hope that they can actually hope that the rest of the field pit. So if they are that close on fuel, I reckon we might see somebody chuck the dice a little bit, make a bit of a play for it, come into pit lane and try their luck with about 10 laps to go. If we don't see anybody come in, then I think they're just about okay for fuel. I think they're pretty confident on it, so we'll soon find out.
Matty Ray there, getting on with it. He's just picked up a couple of positions. He's now moved up into 6th spot. And I'll tell you what, Brenton West, he's got some pace in the 113. He's down underneath Dyson there. He's going to get that position. He's going to get Josh Micklemore as well. Move himself up into 2nd position. So he's just got a little close there to Dyson. Dyson gave him some room. That's good driving. He switched it down the inside. Oh, they got real close there, but great driving from those three. So they get around here and keep things nice and tight. Dave Douglas has jumped on the Luke Trahair bandwagon. This is the sort of race that Trahair runs through and wins, but he's probably a little bit back now for his run. Just there he is on the screen. He'll have plenty of fuel and tyres left, but he might just not be able to get it done. Double D, but I love where you're going with it. As once again, you just see there, Matty Ray. It's on the charge. Big moves, 16 spots.
He is really, really charging through the field now. He's definitely confident that he's got enough juice to get to the end. Micklemore just made a slight bit of contact with the apron, and that allowed Brenton West to just get up past him. And I think it caught a couple of the drivers out because they were just sort of a little bit out of position as Lachlan Urquio just up into the wall, and that's just dropped Gary Wellman back a little bit. Hobson's going to get a move as well as Luke Trahair. Gary Wellman goes down to try and block them. Can't quite make it work. It's going to be free wide into the corner. Trahair is right at the bottom of Wellman at the moment. He's going to try and stick there. Stephen Williams is just a little bit further back. Trahair's going to try and make it done. Hobson gets a bit loose up into Lachlan Urquio. They make contact into the wall. They all keep it going straight though, but a little bit of contact for Urquio and Hobson there.
As we've now got Skurlock, West, Dyson, Micklemore, Raymond as the top 5. Matty Hunter's just on the back of this pack here. So we'll go again. 9 to go. Anyone's guess. Really... Trahair down on the inside line there as well. Sorry, Carl. He's starting to make some moves as well. So he's up in at 8. So there's a few here who I think have got the fuel and the tyre advantage to pull this one off.
Is really anyone's race at the moment. It's impossible to call it. Skirley is losing time though. Brenton West is catching at a vast rate of knots. Andrew Dyson's gone a little bit of charge. Matty Ray has now got ahead of Josh Micklemore. As there's contact in the background. We've got contact in the background. They managed to keep it going. Luke Trahair got knocked off the track there. So Luke Trahair made a big trip across the infield. It looked like Gary Wellman may have just caught him in the background. Gary Whaleman just catching Luke Trahair there. Those two managed to save the cars though somehow. So a caution's not going to come out, but that's hurt those two drivers severely. Unfortunate for Trahair. He's going to try and make it up a little bit, but at the front it is absolute battle on at the moment. You've got to say West is looking good. He is catching Scully at a vast rate of knots. About 3/10 that last time round. He is really, really going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. He is on the charge. It's dropped below a second for the first time since the caution period. And it is himself and Matty Ray here just trying to get the job done on Andrew Dyson. He's gone the high line this time. Should be able to close it out. Willie Dyson will looks like he's got a better run on the exit of the corner. No, Matty Ray's going to get that one done. He'll try and move down here and close that out. And he will be able to do that. So he gets back up into third. And he's going to now try and chase down guys at the front. So Dyson drops into fourth with Josh Mickelmore behind him. So those early runners that were fighting have just lost a little of the pace at the moment. So 6 to go. West is 7/10 behind Michael Skurlock in the lead of this race. And you can just see there Matty Ray getting West into view as well. So don't go anywhere. I reckon we're going to have a really close finish here as Matty Ray checks out on Andrew Dyson. And it's going to be West, Skurlock and Matty Ray fighting for the finish of this race. What do you reckon, Carl? Is that it? Is Skurlock going to hold on?
Skurley's got enough fuel, and I don't think he does. I think Skurlock's in some serious trouble. He's having to do some serious fuel saving. I don't think he's got enough to make it to the end. I think Brenton West is going to catch up. I think Matty Ray might even catch up to Skurley at this point. It is going to be so very close towards the finish. We've got 5 laps remaining. And I don't think Skurley can do it. Not to be a disbeliever in Skurley, but he is really struggling. He's really lifting it off and having to let that car breathe into the corner entry. If he's just doing that, so he's got a little bit of extra fuel for the finish of this race, and that will be interesting. How much fuel do the rest of the guys have, though? Have they pushed a bit too hard now? Are they going to struggle on the last couple of laps? Looks like they are all fine, though. Looks like Matty Ray and Brenton West have played this one perfectly at the moment. So we will see how this one goes. But it's going to be so very, very close at the front. It is anybody's race, but Skurley looks like he's in some serious trouble.
Yeah, there's a huge fuel save from him there going into turn 1, and you can see now Brenton West and Matty Raymond coming. He's saving again there. He's got the clutch in, and West just drove on through the corner. So he and Matty Ray definitely got the fuel. So this is going to be, I think, a race between West and Raymond to see who's going to take out the W here in the penultimate round of the ANZCAR Xfinity Thunder Series. I should say the ANZCAR Thunder Series running in the Xfinity cars, and Skurley would have been hoping, but I think he's going to struggle. Still in the lead. They've still got to get past him. But if he's having to save fuel that heavily, there's every chance they're going to get it done. They get the draft here as well. So Skurley's in big trouble. But maybe he'll hold on for P3. He's got a good gap, 3 to go. He's got a good gap back to Andrew Dyson and Josh Mickelmore, who equally be needing to save fuel. And there's going to be a change for the lead here. It's going to be Brenton West. Is he going to get it done? He's going to have the push from Matty Ray as well. Matty Ray there jumping in behind Skurlock, so that's an interesting move. Skurley looks like he's going to retain the lead.
Skurley's really trying hard to go right now, but I think he's just struggling that time bit. He's just running up that little bit high. West is going to get the move done. Yeah, I'd say. But so is Raymond. Raymond side by side. They go 3 wide for a moment. Raymond up in front of Skurlock. Raymond's going to have the high line. West is on the low line. It's going to be a race between these two cars now. Who is going to take it from here? Is it going to be West or Raymond? Have they got the fuel to take it? Have they done their numbers correct? We've got 1.5 laps to go. West on the inside. Raymond on the outside. Who can take this one out? Skurlock going to be fighting tooth and nail to try and keep that P3. If these two make contact, it could very well be a win for Skurley. Hopefully that won't happen. Not for Skurley not to win, but just we don't want to see contact. West and Raymond side by side still coming across to see that white flag coming out. They're going to get very close. West and Raymond so very close to touching there. Could not fit anything between them, but that's given Raymond the opportunity to just get ahead. Raymond's going to drop down to the inside as the white flag will be coming out. The last lap for the race. Who's going to take this one? Raymond in the lead over Brenton West. Michael Skurlock in third. He's got a fast charging Andrew Dyson behind him. Raymond, though, is in the perfect spot.
Absolutely, he's just got to defend here. He's got half a lap to go. Matty Ray to take out the win here. And looks like West there just didn't get quite the exit that he needed on that corner that's open. The gap up now, it's 4/10 for Matty Ray.
Sherlock's out of fuel. Sherlock is out of fuel. Skurley is dropping down. He is out of fuel. And
so is Andrew Dyson. Is Andrew
Who's going to make it across the line? Yes, Dyson is out of fuel as well. Who is going to do it? Is it going to be Matty Ray? It is going to be Matty Ray taking the flag here. Brenton West for second. And in third place is Josh Micklemore. What a finish to the race there.
Steve Williams jumping into fourth place with Matty Hunter finishing in fifth. Congratulations, Matty Hunter. Great performance from you. Nigel Patton jumping up, if you don't mind, into sixth. Luke Dreher getting into seventh with Hobbo in eighth. Wellman in ninth. And then we had Hamish Gallagher rounding out our top 10. And it looks like Skurley just managing to limp across the line in 13th and Andrew Dyson rolling through the line in 14th, running out of fuel just shy of it, but taking nothing away from Matty Ray and Brenton West. They managed their race really, really well. Just as you said, Carl, early on there, hanging at the back of that lead pack, managing their fuel number and then just getting on the gas at the right time to run home and take out a podium for Matty Ray. He'll be absolutely loving it here. Expect some big, big celebrations down on the inside. He's going to have to try and get that thing flicked around. He might be a bit rusty. We'll give him a break.
Has he got the fuel to celebrate? That's the question. He's going to try his best nonetheless. Great job from Matty Ray. A very popular victory there. Really nice work from him. Good job as well from Matt Hunter up there in P5. Nice run from him. Brenton West, best finish, I think, of his ANZCAR career as well for P2. Congratulations to Brenton West, one of those new drivers that have been coming through the field and making a big name for themselves. And Brenton West has done another great finish, P2. That is one heck of a good job from him. But Matty Ray, what a fantastic masterclass in saving fuel and just waiting for the right moment to pounce. We saw him just coming up through the field and said with about 10, 11 laps to go, it's his time to try and make this happen. And he did indeed make that one happen.
Absolutely, he did. So we'll just grab the guys down into the booth now. We'll get our podium down in here and have a quick chat with them. Just waiting for Brenton West to jump in as well. So while we do that, let's grab in Josh Micklemore and Matty Ray.
So we'll start off with third place man, Mr. Josh Micklemore. Congratulations on that P3. Made it across the line there. How much fuel did you have left in the tank?
Not even half a lap, man. I had to save heaps.
Yeah, it didn't look too comfortable for you on that last lap. And obviously a couple of people just a little bit less fuel than you as well, just helping you out towards the last line there. But fantastic racing we saw all night long, and you were pretty much involved in all of it.
Yeah, Scarlett was going pretty hard. I was pretty sure he was going to run out of fuel, which he did, but I was a bit surprised about Daiso running out of fuel. But yeah, take a top three. Made a lot of mistakes tonight though, so I don't really deserve to be up here, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But hey, we're here at the end of the day, and yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that one because we saw you have a little bit of a clatter with the wall earlier on. Did that affect you too much in the overall race?
Yeah, I got about 15 seconds of damage. I hit it twice running that top and didn't do a hell of a lot of laps before the race tonight, so wasn't really sure where the proper racing line was going to be. So I thought we'd try the top, but obviously it just burnt the hell out of the tyres. And then the second one was a bit better, but yeah, it still made too many mistakes tonight. But yeah, is what it is.
It's still a P3, which is never a bad result. I'm sure you would have preferred a little bit better, but congratulations on the top three finish. Before I let you go, Josh, the usual thing of shout out and love to any sponsors and people in general.
Yeah, just well done to Matty Raymond and Brenton West. It's good to see him up here. I think Brenton won one a little while ago, but I remember him winning one somewhere. So it's good to see those guys up here. Yeah, BK Designs, FGM eCast, ANZCAR, and yeah, everyone for watching the stream.
Thank you so much, Josh Micklemore, for Mitch Motorsport. I'm sure we'll get you back in the booth very, very soon.
No worries. Cheers, guys.
Next up, we will jump to second place man, Brenton West. Congratulations on that P2 finish.
Thanks, man.
A result that you've been up there and thereabouts a fair few times this season. You've really been making a name for yourself at the front of the field and having some good runs out there.
Yeah, Josh, I haven't got up to the front before, but I've been P4. I think I got on a road course once, but yeah, best result so far.
Yeah, I was just double checking that one because I was pretty sure it was the best result so far, but my memory is not the best thing sometimes. But no, congratulations on that one. It's been a good season for you, a solid first season in ANZCAR, and you've been having, as you said, some really good solid results as well. How close were you at the end there on fuel?
I pulled up in my pit box and had 0.3 litres left. It was pretty tight.
Oh, you had plenty. Yeah, you had plenty of juice left. That's a good thing. No, not bad. We saw some great racing all night long as well, and very close racing as well. How taxing was that on you?
Yeah, I'm a bit exhausted right here, right now. I got a bit of a sweat up. But no, I just saw that late in the runs that I had a bit of pace compared to the guys around me, particularly on that first green flag run. And I thought that might have a bit of a go towards the end of the race, and managed to work my way. I was outside the top 10 at one stage and worked my way through it. So that was nice. Yeah,
really solid result for you. It goes with, I think, on my list, 2 top 5s this season, and the first time we've had you up on the second spot of the old standings there as well. So next up, we've got to get you one better.
Hopefully it's not too far away. What do we got next week? Watkins Glen. This is a bit tough in these cars.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how are you on the old road course side?
Road courses I go all right. I seem to, bit of an all-rounder.
Well, this will work out quite well championship-wise. You were just sitting outside the top 10 at the start of tonight, and I think with the drop rounds and things like that, as well as this finish, you're going to work your way up inside the top 10 of the championship. So that is a very good, strong result, especially for your first season.
Yeah, I missed a couple of races because I went on holidays, but happy to be having some solid results when I'm in it.
No, congratulations. It's great to have you up in the booth, and also big shout out to your car as well, because it's a very pretty looking paint livery you've got on there.
I got to thank my brother for doing that one. He does the liveries for us for our West Performance Racing. It's just a couple of us running around having a bit of fun.
Congratulations. And speaking of that, the usual thing of shout out and love to sponsors and anyone in general you'd like to say hello to.
Oh, just shout out to the rest of the guys that run around with me in the team, Mitchell and Dean, Eddie, Greg and Jimmy.
No worries. Congratulations, Brenton West. Great to have you in the booth, and hopefully we'll get you back here very, very soon. Well done on your first P2 in the series.
Thanks, mate.
Next up, we will jump up to a driver that has kept his car very clean many times, one Mr. Matty Raymond.
Hey, boys. How good was that?
It is a pleasure to have you back up here in the booth, and even better to have you in the P1 slot.
Yeah, I know. It's been a very long time. I'm pretty chuffed with that. So, yeah, good day.
A little bit of drought between wins, but it's great to have you back up here. What a strategy you pulled out of the hat at the end of that race.
Yeah, once the sun went down, car really came to life, it felt like. So I just looked after it a bit on that last run because coming out of pits, was clutching it even on that last stop or that last yellow. I'm thinking, be sketchy to make it on fuel, but took it easy to start with in the run because I was in traffic anyway. So, and then, was able to give it a bit more of a squeeze towards the end and had some better rubber than some other boys. So, worked out pretty good.
Well, it worked out better than pretty good. It worked out with a win. 21st to first, mate. That is a fairly good run, even by your lofty standards. 20 positions gained in the race, and most importantly, the most important position gained in the race, P1.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's 2019, I reckon, was the last win in ANZCAR. So, yeah, it's good. Good to get another dubs.
Always nice to get the W beside your name, and a very popular victory, I'm sure, amongst the drivers to see you getting that one. Of course, the usual thing, shout out and love to sponsors.
Yeah, well, you guys, of course, putting the broadcast on FGME cast and ANZCAR for the league and everything like that. And of course, my usual list. We've got Johnny Larber down at Mobile Brake and Mechanical Repairs, Eric down at Silver Star Service and Restoration, all the boys at the SRM crew, Danny down at Maid of Auckland Hotel, and Josh down at KL Crash as well. Oh, and Scotty at McLean Mechanical Repairs. I think that's about all.
You got your list, you got it done well. Thank you so much, Matty Ray. It's a pleasure to have you up in there, booth, and congratulations on that well-deserved victory.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
What a race, Stuart.
Mate, yeah, absolutely. I was just having a flick back through some of the event, and we basically had 3/4 of the race with the entire pack running together, challenging for the lead. So some fantastic racing there for the group, and everyone did a really good job. Nice, clean running, and yeah, good to see a little bit of variety in the winners' booth.
Absolutely. It's always nice to get some different faces and different names up here in the winners' booth. As much as we love seeing a few of the guys week in, week out, it's always nice to get some fresh blood and some of the older blood up here as well, especially Matty Ray, of course, long-time competitor in the ANZCAR series, so great to have him getting out that victory tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've got one round to go, as the guys were saying, Watkins Glen, so we're heading to a road circuit in the next week for the final round of the Thunder Series, and can we get a day off this week? So tomorrow night, no Cup Series. There is a break in the official Cup as well, so we obviously follow that schedule, and so tomorrow night, Carl, we are off the airwaves.
We are indeed. We are finished, we are done, and we get to enjoy a lovely night off. Unable to do much, of course, but we can enjoy it nonetheless, so that will be good. But we will be back next week, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So we start out with the final round of Season 2 Truck Series, I should say, for 2021, where we head to Phoenix for the final round there on Monday night. Tuesday, we're back with the Oz Pro-Am Sim Series for the second wildcard round. Now, that is one we're looking forward to as well. That's the old turbo Audis being cracked out, and that is going to be one heck of a fun ride in those. And then we're back on Wednesday night with the final round of this series as well, before getting the Cup back underway next Thursday. So normal scheduling resumes in a few days' time. Until then, we get to enjoy a long weekend.
That's it, and we hope you all look after yourselves. Thank you very much for joining us, and as ever, a big shout out to everybody that's joined us on stream and also that's watching the replay of the race. We could not do this without your support, so a big thank you to everybody, and if you could hit that subscribe button, it does help us out a tiny bit.
Absolutely, and while you're out there, give someone a call that you haven't spoken to in a while. Everyone's doing it tough at the moment, so give someone a call and say hello while you can. That's it from us on FGME Cast, your E-Place for Pace. Carl with you, thank you for another evening and another week, and we will see you back here on Monday night for the finale of Season 2 2021 for the ANZCAR Truck Series, and thank you for joining us. That is us on FGME Cast, your E-Place for Pace.